You ever feel like something just pull you in? Like the more you learn, the deeper it gets, and suddenly you're in too far to turn back. See, that's the thing about occult. There is a power in knowledge, but there is also a price. And I'm not talking about Hollywood horror movie nonsense. I mean the real stuff, the kind of stuff that you won't find on surface level books or beginner TikTok witchcraft. Today we're talking about the dangers of the occult, the hidden side of magic, and why some people even regret opening this door. So let's get into it. You know how people say ignorance is bliss? Well, there is a reason for that. Because once you start seeing things for what they really are, you can't unsee them. The way reality bends when you tap into certain knowledge, it's like peeling back the curtain and realizing nothing what it seemed. And the biggest trap? Thinking you have control over it. Information is a form of energy. The more you absorb, the more you change. Ancient texts talk about forbidden knowledge, not because it's evil, but because it shifts the way your mind perceives reality. Have you ever had a moment where you think of something and suddenly it happens? That's not just coincidence, that's your awareness rewiring itself. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. Many occultists say that the real danger isn't the spirits or curses. It is realizing how fragile reality is. Now let's talk about the unintended consequences of energy work. Here's something that no one talks about. Every energy shift you create has an echo. You don't just manifest or protect yourself in a vacuum. Energy moves like a ripples in the water. And whatever you do, it comes back. And not always in the way you expect. People talk about raising vibrations and opening portals, but what they don't tell you is that energy doesn't have an off switch. If you start working with sigils, symbols, or personal energy manipulation, you might start noticing weird things. Lights flickering, electronics glitching, your sleep feeling disrupted. Certain symbols hold more than what you intend. Ever seen an old sigil and thought, I feel drawn to this? You're not drawn to the symbol, you're drawn to the energy behind it. Ancient magicians, for example, wouldn't let anyone touch their tools for this exact reason. Because once something has your energy, it connects you indefinitely. Now let's talk about the mirror effect when magic starts using you. You ever hear stories of people who start practicing magic and then everything in their life goes strange? Like they thought they were controlling something, but suddenly it feels like something is controlling them. That's because magic at its core is a mirror. Whatever you put in, you get back, but not always in the way you expect. There's an old concept in esoteric circles. You don't summon spirits, spirits summon you. If you start working with certain entities, thought forms, or deities, you might notice that their presence doesn't just appear during rituals. It shows up in your dreams, your random thoughts, even your emotions. The deeper you go, the more you realize the practice starts shaping you. You begin noticing synchronicities, seeing things before they happen, and suddenly people around you start acting different toward you. And if you don't ground yourself, it can get overwhelming fast. Now let's talk about the gateway problem, opening the doors you can't close. The biggest danger? Thinking you can control what you don't understand. You ever heard the phrase, once the door is open, it's open? That applies here more than anywhere else. Many spiritual practitioners start with innocent curiosity, accidentally open energy pathways that don't just affect them but their families and friends. The idea of energy parasites, non physical entities that feed off of attention, fear, obsession, isn't just a folklore. There's a reason why different cultures have banishing ritual and cleansing as well. Because once something attaches to you, it's not as simple as saying, I don't believe in it anymore. Ever felt a shift in your space? Like the air feels heavier? Or certain rooms feel off? That's not just your imagination, that's a resonance. So, what's the takeaway here? It's about understanding what you're getting into. Magic, occult practices, esoteric knowledge. It's all powerful, but power without awareness is just an accident waiting to happen. If you're going to do this work, you need to respect it. You need to be aware of what's moving around you and what you're inviting in. The most dangerous thing, thinking you're immune to the consequences. The occult isn't about quick results. It's about transformation, and transformation isn't always easy. Have you ever had an experience where things started getting weird after an occult practice? Tell me in the comments.